Beginner's Tutorial.
Hey, what's going on everybody? Big J Gleez here, and welcome to the Mortal Kombat X Beginner's Guide. And there's a lot of things that we're going to go over. I'm also going to do a write-up on the website, so gamingwithgleez.com. There will be a write-up to go along with all of these videos. And hopefully this helps out a lot of you beginners. I know I've gotten a lot of questions, about a beginner tutorial for Mortal Kombat X, so I'm really happy to be able to bring this to you. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is normals and pokes. So what I mean by that is things that can keep your opponent away. Now that would be, this move I believe is safe on block, which is just 3 or A. Alright, so that could be an example of a poke. Mostly what you want to focus on are the down pokes. So that hits low. So you can see it hits low. Alright, you also want to go through and look for unique attacks. Alright, so for unique attacks, we're not even going to get into special moves yet. We're just going to go into regular basic attacks. Now you'll notice right here, Ermac has what's called a unique attack. And some characters have these, some characters don't. Alright, now Ermac is someone that does have a unique attack. Now it could be something that you can use and utilize, sometimes it's not. So for Ermac, he has a charge move where you hold back Y and you're able to get an unblockable. I believe this is unblockable. Also, actually it says mid. Usually it'll say unblockable. Now, if you want to test it, this is a perfect learning experience. I know in the past that move has been unblockable. We can go to AI options and we can turn the block to always. Alright, so we'll see if this is unblockable. Nope, it is blockable. Alright, in the past that has always been unblockable. So now this is a unique attack where you can charge it, you can charge and dash out of it. Alright, so you don't necessarily have to stay in it. So I can charge and dash back, I can charge and dash forward. Alright, so unique attacks are kind of different. You got to go through and search for them in the move list. One thing you also want to take notice of are the numbers on the right side of the screen. Now what these numbers represent, they're all something different. They represent the frames at which a move takes place or the amount of time that you have advantage or disadvantage on contact, whether it's block or on hit. So if you notice, the down pokes usually are pretty good. So the low jab for Ermac particularly is pretty slow. You notice on block it's -10. That means if somebody blocks my down X attack, that means that I don't recover until 10 frames after my opponent recovers, meaning that they have 10 frames to inflict damage on me. Okay, and all these numbers are very important, particularly the block advantage. That's the one that I use the most. The hit advantage can also be important, and when we look at some other characters, I'll be sure to go over that stuff with you in other videos. So what I need to do is find a move that is quick and hits low that's going to force my opponent to duck. Okay, so I'm going to go through and find, let's see, down X is not a good one because it's -10. It takes too long. So let's go through. Down A is -6. That's not bad. Down B. All right, that's going to be our winner. It's -3 block advantage. So that's the one that I'm probably going to use. The hit advantage is also 13. Let's go look at down A. Hit advantage is 15, so we have 2 extra frames of hit advantage. Now, how can we use that to our advantage? Hit advantage, okay? So if you notice right here, this is down A. Oh, we got to take him off block. Always remember to do that. So we're going to take him off block. All right, we're going to talk about hit advantage. So hit advantage, if you notice, when I hit the opponent, all right, with this down poke, he goes through an animation where he's like looping his head around. All right, so now I recover in that particular number of frames before my opponent. So I can do another attack before he can recover, depending on the startup of my attack. Now, if I use a move that has a very long startup, I'm not going to be able to attack him while he's in that stun. All right, one of the most common stun type of abuses, we'll say, is the Scorpion Vortex. On teleport, on hit, on contact, I've made a video about this. I'll link it down below. The opponent is in stun, so when you end the combo in the teleport, the hit advantage is very high. So because the hit advantage is very high, we're able to execute a move and force our opponent to guess whether the move is high or it's low. And that's what we're going to get into next. Because we have these pokes that are going to force our opponent to duck, all right, we also have moves that are overhead. So if it's overhead, the person cannot block it while ducking. So right here is a very good overhead for Ermac, which is forward and B, or forward and 4. All right, so mixing these in, these are just basics. So getting him to duck and then cracking him. All right, so these are basics. This is like the fundamentals of the game. Now, as you get better, you can link certain things. So we can also go in and we can look for moves that start low. So if you look at move type, all right, you see low. You already know that we have a normal that goes high. Now, I want something that goes low that I can combo off of. So usually it's going to be our hold left or hold right and hit an attack. So if you notice right here, back in A, the ankle snap, all right, that is a low attack. And it's pretty safe. As you can see, it is -4 block advantage, so you're going to be fine if you do make contact and the person happens to block it. So you can see this hits low. So we have this that hits low, and then we have this that hits over top. All right, and you notice the back A leaves him in a nice stun. So we're going to check the hit advantage on that. Hit advantage is 12, which is pretty good. All right, so that's going to give us, you know, a nice advantage here. Now what we can do is if we happen to hit the person with this move, we can hit him overhead. All right, so because they're probably going to duck. The reason why I don't want to, not that the down poke's bad, I use the down poke a lot because it's very fast and it forces the person to duck and I can go into the overhead. But the reason why we want something that we can combo off of that hits low is because it allows us to do what are called 50-50 mix-ups. So I have this attack that goes low, that attack that goes high. So I can combo off these, which makes them vitally important. So to combo off of this one, we're going to hit back A and then we're going to hit YX. Or for those of you that are a little bit more accustomed to Mortal Kombat, that would be back 3, 2, 1. And most combos that you look up will basically call the buttons by a specific number. So X and Y are 1 and 2, A and B are 3 and 4. So here's a combo right here. It's a very short combo, very short string. It's 17% though. All right, so that's a pretty good string. Now our overhead, we have a forward 4, 3. All right, so that would be basic. All right, so these are the two basic strings that you can use with Ermac. These would be my, what you would call bread and butters. So I would use these quite often. All right, another thing that you want to do is go look at a couple strings and look at the frame data. So if we go in, I already know Ermac decently well, so I'm going to go through and we want to see the block advantage. It's really what you want your focus to be. So forward Y, X, Y. So this one is pretty good because it's -1 on block, meaning that you're almost even. So you almost recover at the same time. Now you can change it at the end by hitting down Y, and that leads us to a launcher. And launchers are important to find because that allows you to extend combos. All right, so if we have this launcher, we know that we can extend this combo. Maybe get a jump kick just to start off. You know, jump kick teleport if you get a little more advanced. That's what you want to look for. Things that are advantage on block or close to even on block, as well as something that goes low and overhead. So low and overhead. And finding the low and overhead things you can combo off of are important. And you'll see right here with Master of Souls Ermac, when I go low, I can link moves to it or link specials to it. So as I go low, I can link Soul Ball. So then I can get a pretty vicious combo in. I dropped it. But you can see right there, you know, you can get a nice combo in and it's low. So I keep messing up at the end. I'm not a great Ermac player right now. I just started playing with him a couple days ago. But that's what you want. Now, if you have the overhead, all right, you can also link Soul Ball to overhead. All right, so now a person has to guess. All right, now a person has to guess. So if your opponent's blocking low all the time, start with the overhead. Eventually, they'll wind up standing up. Then when you notice that they start standing up, hit them with the low attack. All right, and then you can combo off that. All right, so that's basically how the game is set up. It's a It's really a low overhead type of game. So if you can go, low in combo, and you also have an overhead starter and you can combo, that's what you want. That's what you want with most characters anyway. Aaron Black is a great example of this. He has an overhead starter as well as a low starter, and he's a very good character. He may possibly be the best character in the game as far as pressure goes. So this is where we're going to start off. So what I want you to do is with your character is to go through your frame data, go through your moves, find overheads and low attack starters, and get used to what move is the best to poke with. Alright, so my low attack here is pretty fast, one of the best to pokes with. So that's a down 3 right there. Down 4 is not bad. Alright, so that's what we're going to use with Ermac to poke with. Alright, and you also want to make sure that you look at where the move hits. So you see this punch here? It says mid. Alright, so that means that the person can block that high. This means low, the person has to block it low. And then also for overheads, it'll say overhead. So that means that they have to block it standing. If they block it low, they're going to get hit. And as you mix these in, you also have a throw to mix in, which is unblockable. All right, so I would start with basically, learning your overheads and low attacks and low attack combos with an overhead mix-up combo. So a person has to guess. All right, so that's what I would do if I were you. That's where I would start. Another place that I would start is also how your character moves. All right, so know how far their dash goes, know their walk speed. All right, notice Ermac has a very slow walk speed backwards, decent walk speed forward, but he's still pretty slow. He's a pretty slow character as far as his movement. His dash doesn't cover, or his dash covers a lot of ground though. So because his dash covers a lot of ground, it makes him a little bit more versatile. You also have the run, which you can dash and hit and hold block. All right, that's going to make you run, but it's also going to take away your meter, your energy meter up top. Now, the energy meter is pretty important. And the reason why the energy meter is important is because it allows you to advance quickly, number one. It also allows you to break. To break combos, you need 2 bars of meter at the bottom, as well as 2 endurance bars. If you are lacking in endurance bars, you will not be able to combo break. There are also certain moves that you can cancel, such as Scorpion's Teleport, that will wipe your bar clean. So that's something that you need to know. It's going to take away all of your endurance. Also, utilizing the background environment stuff uses a bar. So you notice right there, it used a bar. So if you don't have a full bar of energy, then you're not going to be able to use any of the interactives in the background. All right, so know that as well. And you'll hear a ding. It'll be like, nyah, 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 nyah. I'll see if I can get this to work. See, I'm trying to backdash. You need a full bar to backdash. Hear it? All right, so you need a full bar to backdash. So those are the basics of the game. All right, those are the very, very basic ins and outs of the game. Also, one last thing that I want to cover. I want to be thorough here, but I don't want to give you too much too soon here. But another thing that I want to cover here is also your jump. All right, different characters jump at different heights. They jump different distances, and their attacks are different in the air. All right, so you notice here I'm hitting the Y button or the 2 button, and he does like an overhead like volleyball spike. All right, it takes a little bit longer to set up than the X or the 1. You can see that right there. It's a bit quicker. All right, you can also take a look at the kicks. All right, they're a little bit different. His jump kicks are pretty similar compared to some other characters where the jump kicks are very different, such as Katana. With Katana, the one kick that she has goes like straight out, so horizontally it covers more ground, versus the other one, I think B, don't quote me on this, but one of them goes longer, one of them goes more straight down. So depending on the attack that you're going to use, you might want to switch it up. So if an opponent is further away from you and you jump in and you just kind of want to catch them right in the face, you might use the one that extends a little bit longer. All right, so that's something that you want to know as well. All right, so focus on your normals, your down pokes, finding overheads, and then finding lows and overheads that go into combo. All right, so that's what I would focus on to begin with. learn how your character moves, learn how they jump, find any special or unique attacks that they might have. All right, and that's where I would start with your character as far as this game goes. All right, so if you have any questions, this is only video 1. We're going to get into more videos here, but this is only video 1. Hopefully it was informative for you. If you have any questions specifically about the game, leave them down in the comment section below. I will be sure to address them. Also, if you have any character-specific questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'm still going through the game and learning all of the characters, so I'm going to go through and teach you the importance and what to look for as far as looking at characters. And one thing that I will say, knowing all of the characters in the game is vitally important, whether you use them or not. You should have a basic understanding as far as what they bring to the table, because it's going to allow you to play defense properly. And we'll get to that as well in future videos. So that's it for right now. So practice those things. Leave a comment down below with any questions. Thanks for checking in. It's Big J Gleez signing out, and continue to game strong.